Hardcore.
Hey guys, you're watching Hardcore, and what would happen if all humans spontaneously disappeared? I'm not talking about some slow degradation of the human populace. I'm talking about a complete and immediate evacuation of planet Earth. At the moment, we occupy every single continent on Earth, and as humans we weigh about 300 million pounds. There are about 7 billion of us, and we make the biggest impact on the natural environment. So what does happen if we just leave? Well, within the immediate disappearance, nothing really happens. We develop machinery that can actually last by itself for any given number of hours. Lights on our street continue to glow, the satellites that we've sent into orbit continue to orbit around the Earth. The only real difference is that things that run on autopilot, such as planes and even some cars, start to crash. Some fires may happen, some buildings may be destroyed, but nothing really spectacular is happening yet. It's really after a day that some interesting things start to happen. After just one single day, power stations are running out of fuel. Places like coal stations, which give about 50% of all our energy, have started to burn all of the coal they have left in their fires. Even alternate energy sources like wind turbines without proper personnel are struggling to power any major facilities. Places like Pennsylvania and large parts of Florida are running completely out of all lights. We're entering into a sort of dark age. The only place that has any light left or any energy left are the nuclear power plants, and even they are starting to run out of any feasible energy source. So what's happening is we have a setup for some disastrous outcomes. After just a single day, chemical storage plants are unable to maintain the constant temperature needed to allow gases to remain in liquid form. Without the right temperature, the liquid starts to evaporate and the gas starts to seep out through the vents. This means that really noxious gases are being left into the environment. They're spread all over the world by winds, and without human interference are able to damage all kinds of life. By the end of the week, all of your household pets have either starved to death or broken free of their captivities. Without humans to boss them around, cats, dogs, mice, even birds, or whatever other wacky creature you may own as a pet have begun to open fridges and drink out of toilet seats. All of this so they can survive. The smaller dogs have probably all been eaten by the larger breeds of dog, which have by now grouped together into packs and roam the street looking for food. I wouldn't put too much faith in any of your breeds of chihuahuas standing up to any pack of pit bulls. Without humans and electrical fences, many of the zoo's inhabitants have begun to escape. Predators like lions and tigers, and maybe even a penguin, begin to map out their new jungle. They're not well that's left to them, and will largely struggle. Without proper care, sewage tanks all over the city are starting to seep into rivers, polluting vast amounts of water. And on a somewhat ironic note, 90,000 dairy cows and several other creatures will be saved from the slaughterhouse. Most will probably die anyway. The last bits of water covering radioactive waste have begun to evaporate after just 1 week. This allows radioactive air to seep into the atmosphere and take in all around the world. Perhaps the most sad part is that the Big Ben, without proper winding, will sound for its last time. A true landmark event marking the end of human time and history. In the next few months, signs of human habitation of the Earth can still be seen. What we've left for the creatures that now roam our planet are food and buildings, both of which will be used promptly. The food that we've left will be used by the rats, which population will explode. This will be regulated by feral cats and by lack of food eventually after they eat it all. The buildings will be used by things like squirrels, raccoons and pigeons, which will now find a new home in the world that we've left them. Radiation has dissipated from the air as purity of air and visibility has dramatically increased all over the major cities in the world. Feral dogs now roam our cities as they start to eat all the food that will venture away into the countryside, using our roads as little maps mapping everywhere they can eat. Without artificial heating and cooling, animals must now migrate during winter and summer. The displacement of creatures allows some to thrive as there are no natural predators, like deer for instance sitting in a city won't really be able to be killed by a bunch of cats. Sadly, without artificial heating, billions of cockroaches will die. Most of the CO2 created by humans would be removed from the air as new plants and trees begin to sprout. The first signs of the return of natural order are beginning just a few months after humans disappeared. Fast forward the next few hundred years, life on Earth is really starting to reshape itself. It's becoming to what it was pre-human era. Houses are starting to become completely corrupted as rivers are falling. Trees, grass, rain and snow start to degrade even the most stable of infrastructure. Barley and wheat crops are being exhumed by the growing forest. Things that were like parks, like the Times Square, are starting to expand outwards. They're no longer just small contained areas of grassland, they're becoming genuine forests. Remains of humanity are really starting to suffer now, as all that's left of cars are the wheels. Everything else has been eroded by rust. The wheels will last a few more hundred years as they're made by synthetic material. The capital of England is returning to the swamp-like nature it was before Roman occupation. Things are really starting to return to what they were like. Dog breeds no longer exist as interbreeding takes place, and wolves have re-entered all environments, and they regulate the population of deer, which was exploding because of lack of natural predators. The oceans are thriving as life continues to grow under the sea. All the effects of overfishing are being reversed, and without noise pollution caused by ships, whales can be heard 2,000 miles away using their mating calls. Cities that once stood tall are covered by snow and sand, and very few monuments of humanity remain. Big Ben and large portions of the Eiffel Tower can still be seen, covered in green moss and shrubs. The majority of dams have succumbed to water pressure, bursting through and swamping the surrounding areas. Places like the Hoover Dam have leaked out into the Mississippi River, which by now is reshaping the coast of Louisiana. After 500 years, the world would be restored to a state that it was 10,000 years before, and at the turn of the millennia, all that remains of the Statue of Liberty is the concrete stand. This will last for thousands of years. The only remnants of humanity that remain are those that are buried underneath the sand or have been stamped into the environment. Landmarks like the English Channel and Mount Rushmore will remain for many numbers of years, barring earthquakes or asteroids. After about 25,000 years, the Earth enters a new ice age. The great majority of human artifacts are completely wiped out by this amount. Trace amounts of human chemicals which are man-made still remain, but over the next million years, life goes on. It thrives in the absence of humanity, as life evolves and changes into unpredictable forms. Bacteria will have to evolve to be able to degrade all the plastics that we've left. Despite being the major power broker in the last few thousand years, the effects that humans have made on the planet are completely negligible. If we disappear, everything that we've done is completely reversed. Sure, pyramids in the Giza will be covered by sand and will survive for almost eternity, but after 1 billion years, and even after 5 billion years, everything that we've done will completely go away. Life as we know it is going to end one day. Why am I so happy saying that? Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave your comments and opinions in the section below. Next week we have Test Your Psyche, where you get to see how good your eyes really are. If you liked the video and want to see more, please hit like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching!